Okay, what is up guys? Today I'm filming a commentary video. Today I'm going to be talking about social media and how it's dying right now. If you're new, subscribe, like this video, comment, check out my other videos if you haven't already. Make sure you like, comment, all that good stuff. It helps me out a lot. Even sharing helps me out a lot. Check out my podcast, Pretty Open Minded on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Rate it, comment, like, follow, all that stuff helps me out a lot. Turning notifications. I'm gonna be talking about social media, how it's dying, and a lot of people are turning into physical media. I wanted to discuss it because honestly I'm finding myself liking physical media a lot more now. Like I started getting into it. I started like digging into like the linen closet a couple months ago, and I started like watching like old movies from freaking 2005 because I was just like, I'm so tired of ads, you know what I mean? And I think honestly why people are going back to it is because it's just really simple. It's kind of very like, it's very much straightforward, you know? You just plop it in a DVD player and then you just watch it. You don't have to like, you know, use subscriptions or sometimes the DVDs do have ads, but it's not throughout the movie, you know what I mean? So there's so many things to consider, and I feel like physical media more. I do feel like it's gonna become an addiction for a lot of people, but I understand why personally, because it's just right there. It's just right there. But since, you know, physical media is coming back, it's making its little comeback. I noticed that like the DVD players are like going up in price, probably because people are trying to find ways to avoid subscriptions.
We need to bring back physical media. We need to bring back physical media, like physical books, physical DVDs, physical CDs. I wanted to watch Blade last night, and they talking about some renting on Amazon Prime. Got the damn set. I realized I got a set and I got a DVD player. Bring back physical media.
But the reason why I feel like social media is dying is because it's just not really that enjoyable anymore. Like obviously I'm gonna enjoy posting videos, but it's not as enjoyable how it was a couple years back, you know what I mean? Pre-AI, pre-ads, all that stuff is what I'm trying to say. I feel like social media is constantly shoving down our throats about, oh, you need to buy this, you need to buy that, you need to buy this, you need to buy that. And then since AI has been introduced to the public, it's been so much worse on social media because it's constantly all over my For You page, and it's probably on y'all's For You page too. I'm sick of it personally because it's just like, it's getting more views and people think that it's very informative, and I'm just like, are we watching the same video? And it will be like, oh my god, stop putting your towels in the bathroom while there's steam coming in the vents, coming from the shower. It's gonna cause bacteria, which, okay, common sense. And then I'll look at the comments and it'll be like,
oh my god, Emmy did this today. I am actually learning from this.
Why do we care about what AI is saying? They're literally computer generated thoughts that y'all are putting into them. We're watching the same thing. And then also on top of that, my For You page is also like convoluted with weird skits that I don't understand, like these movie, like I don't know, they're like, I think they're movies, like movie clips that I've never seen before, but they're very corny. And then sometimes I've even seen the people, like I'm familiar with some of the people in these movie clips, and I'm just like, okay, well, it's not promoted anywhere, so I don't understand why this is being promoted here. You know what I mean? But I'm personally sick of every scroll is an ad. And personally, I'm getting tired of doom scrolling. And I know a lot of people are too, because I feel my life wasting away when I'm constantly doom scrolling, because I just feel like the time goes by so much faster when I'm just spending all day scrolling. And it's not something that is normal. Like back in the day, I used to just go outside, be a kid, and use my imagination. Like I remember one time where there was like a rainy day and there was a huge tree that fell over, and you know what all the neighborhood kids did? All of us decided to make a cafe out of this tree branch, and there was like this opening that we can go into, and we were playing with it like after school, and we would be like, okay, we're gonna go back into the cafe thing, and we were treating it like it was like Starbucks. And honestly, it's a cute idea, just going into a tree branch and serving people. And it was great, honestly. I think it was there for like a couple of days until the city took it, and then we were like, oh my god. Like, I was actually very distraught when it was taken away, because obviously like they don't know that kids are using it, but it's probably super duper obvious, you know. Back in the day, I used to make mud pies, and I would serve it to my mom, and I would make it all pretty and stuff, and then she'll take pictures of it, and I'm pretty sure they're still on her SD card. Like, I used to really use my imagination when I was a kid. I don't think that's there now because I don't like have people to hang out with, but it's like I used to have, like, I did have devices. I got my first iPad at 13 years old. Like, I did have like electronics. I just didn't rely on it for entertainment every 2 seconds, you know? Because the difference between before and now is that the kids now heavily rely on social media for their entertainment because their parents are giving them like shut up toys, which are tablets a lot of the times, and they're like, okay, here, have this, go away now. And that's kind of how they're learning about life, is through social media, because their family is not teaching them. So, and they don't really like know how to socialize anymore. Like, it's pretty bad, honestly. Like, they don't know how to do anything because they weren't properly taught by their parents. All those things are good for development, but it's just like, that's why pre-social media was just so much better.
I realize it's weird to be reporting this on social media, but social media is dying. While I used to post on subjects 5 or 6 times a day, nowadays I might post once or twice a week, and I'm not alone. According to global analysis, the amount of time spent on social media peaked in 2022 and has been steadily declining ever since. And recent polling has found that nearly a third of all social media users post less than they did a year ago. You can sense that we are at the beginning of the end of the social media age through increasing talk of the dopamine detox and the rising popularity of the Nokia dumb phone. The question is, why? It's probably got something to do with the abuse most of us have witnessed on social media, the negative mental health consequences of being online, and we all know people who have been radicalized on Facebook and X. But the thing that is really killing social media, more than the pylons and the abuse, it's not social anymore. When I log on to Instagram nowadays, I don't see my friends' photographs. Instead, algorithms present me with videos of cars being cleaned, Chinese men doing food challenges, and AI videos. But at its best, social media brought people together and was a laugh. Perhaps if we have a big breaking news story like the pandemic or the riots of 2011 or the blue, black, white, gold dress meme, I'll be back. But the innocence has gone. In the time I have left on earth, I want to bring people together rather than be involved in things that tear them apart.
It was a lot more simpler, and it was a lot more peaceful, you know what I mean? I feel like every time I get onto like TikTok, it's like so much overstimulation, and I know that a lot of people were like, oh my god, I feel overstimulated, and I really feel like it's our phones, because we're constantly being bombarded with something. And the second you go on TikTok, like, you are hit with so many different emotions that you're not being able to sit with. Like, one video could be a cute little dog video, and then the next video it could be a dog being ran over, and then another video could be, oh my god, this person got hurt in some way, or it could be like a bombing or something. Like, it's so many things that I feel like I get overstimulated with. I made a whole presentation about it in my public speaking class, because I don't feel like social media is healthy for people, especially when it comes to just like, it's not even good for anyone, like, personally, because like no one knows how to socialize. And I don't know how we're so connected but so disconnected, because honestly, like, it was cool in 2020 when everyone had their own little communities of people, and they were making little groups off of that because we were all stuck in the house. But now, after 2020, like, it's not like that anymore. It's like very much Like, we're super disconnected, and there's constantly people coming online being like, how do you make friends? And they're all my age, being like, how do you make friends? How do you do this? How do you do that? Oh my god. Or whenever they try to make friends, it just is like insufferable, which I've gone through that myself. Like, I've gone through that a few times where I would be like at school and I'm thinking that we're hitting it off, and I would give them my Instagram and they would only talk to me just to get my info, like my homework info and stuff like that. They weren't really like, they didn't really want to like get to know me on that level. They just were like, oh, like she pays attention in class, so I'm gonna ask her for homework help. And that's how it was. Like, it's really hard to socialize in your 20s. Like, I don't know, like when my mom was in her 20s, like she had a community of people, but that's because she was like really outgoing, and plus she has kids. So having kids, you kind of like form a community of people if you find the right people, and you guys can relate off of that. Being like, her thing when I was younger was, well, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she didn't call herself like a Navy wife, thank God, but that's what she was. And since I lived in a city that was nothing but military, I think it was easy to relate to people at my elementary school and just in the apartment complex we lived in, because a lot of people had husbands that were in the military, and that was just a normal thing. So that just seemed normal to me. I think our friend, his dad was in the Air Force, and then I had another friend that had a bunch of brothers, and his dad was in the Air Force, I think. So our dads were all like in different branches, and I remember being a kid talking about it and bragging about it. But honestly, like, that's kind of like what it is. Like, people were just so enthralled and so intrigued over the fact that my dad was a sailor. I don't know, people still ask me like what he does, and I'm just like they'll be like, oh, like, why are you here and stuff like that. And I'll be like, I'm just a transplant. I'm not from here. I'm literally a transplant. My mom had that type of community, and it was great, honestly. I still talk to the moms from, you know, that I grew up with and that were watching me grow up. And I just talked to one of them like a couple days ago. We've been talking on and off for like a few weeks now, and she and my mom used to be like hella close. Like, that's the thing about, like, before social media, like, it was so much easier to make friends and so much easier to have community. And I feel like, yeah, like, it's cool to have a community on social media, but I feel like that ends up fading out after a while. Nothing is better than the real thing. You know what I mean? I don't think people understand how important it is to have a community of people. And the fact that they still remember me and they still are like, I'm gonna reach out to her, it's flattering, honestly, because I'm over here thinking that like people forgot. You know what I mean? I don't reach out to people that I grew up with, honestly. Personally, I get kind of like embarrassed because some people just kind of act like they're just too good for you.
I think I'm done with social media. That is dying. It's dead. TikTok then turned into either QVC or fucking CNN. Every time I'm on Instagram, every time I watch a story, it's somebody's birthday. I'm not telling all these mothers happy birthday. Ain't nobody about to call me a monitoring spirit. So I don't want to be on that. I'm only on Facebook to be on Facebook Marketplace. Like, all this shit is dead and boring. What the fuck? I ain't even watch TV. I ain't about to have all them streaming services. Yeah, I'm about to have me outside actually finding a hobby, picking up a book or something. How fun is that? I just want to sit in my bed and rot.
I feel like this whole physical media thing is a really good trend to have, because I feel like it helps people understand what it's like to live without ads, because subscriptions are out of control. Like, I talk about it every so often on my TikTok, because there was just one time, like maybe a week or two ago, I'm trying to look for lip gloss, and the lip gloss that I want is not over here, and I don't want to get up, so I'm gonna have to settle. So I was talking about how we recently got, like, we had Tidal for like a month, right? And I liked it in the beginning, but then I kind of stopped liking it after a while. There's so many flaws that are probably minuscule to people, but I feel like they're kind of big to me. But I'm normally a Spotify girly. This is giving me a headache. Oh my god, this is why I don't like using relikes. Talking about how if you don't have a Spotify premium, you get hit with so many ads and you only get 6 skips every day. You can't go backwards. If you want to like listen to your favorite music, you can't go backwards. You can't listen to it again. And then also your music is all over the place on purpose when you don't have premium. And then all the ads are about get premium, it helps your ears, get premium, helps your ears, buy this, buy that. And it gets so irritating personally.
Music lovers who subscribe to Spotify soon will have to dig deeper into their pockets to listen to their favorite music. There's another price hike coming next month. The premium ad-free membership will jump $1 or $2 depending on the exact plan you have. And that brings individual plans up to $13 a month. The duo, the plan for 2 people, up to $19. The family plan will go up to $22. This is the 3rd price increase for Spotify in the last 4 years.
Because I'm just like, how is this supposed to be enjoyable? Because personally, growing up, I had a DVD player and I had an MP3 player. I had this MP3 player, I think was purple or pink. And I even tried looking it up because I was just like, I kind of miss it, you know? And I used to listen to One Direction, Cody Simpson, freaking Mindless Behavior, all those things on that MP3 player, and T-Pain. And I used to be so obsessed with it because I don't have to listen to ads. And even the ads back in the 2000s, early 2000s that I grew up with, they weren't obnoxious and annoying. They were very like, I don't know, like I kind of looked forward to them because it was always something else coming out that was like kid friendly. So I was like, oh my god, I need this, because it would be like Floam, or it would be like, I don't know, Fushigi Ball, which I had that once. Total scam, by the way. Total scam. It doesn't really work. They were like trying to do all these tricks, and I remember like bringing it everywhere, and I was trying to do the same tricks that the people did in the YouTube videos, and I was just like, this is not doing anything. It was probably the first time I was freaking like clickbaited, you know, because it didn't work. I don't know if you guys remember those like bendy waxy straw things that you can make little like designs. That was a weird movement. Okay. Anyways, and that's the stuff that I looked forward to as a kid because there was constantly something cool coming out. And you know what my parents did? My mom always bought it for us, always, because I would be like, oh my god, I want this. The whole thrill of like going through magazines and being like, oh my god, I want to get this one day, I want to get this one day, this and this. I remember circling everything I wanted. It was even like before Christmas, and I was like, I want to get that. The Scholastic books that kids don't even know what the hell it is now, Leapfrog, all those things. Like, kids don't know what that is. If you went up to a Gen Alpha right now and they're like, and you ask them, what is leapfrog? They're gonna think it's a species of a frog. They're gonna be like, oh, it's a frog leaping. That's what it is. But they're not gonna know it's an actual game console that taught you things, that taught you like addition. And there's some fun games that were there, like the SpongeBob one, but there were some that did help you with like math and stuff.
Let me tell you why I started collecting physical media. I am so tired of having like 5 subscriptions to streaming services. I started getting so irritated not being able to find any of the movies I wanted to watch on the streaming services I pay monthly for. And if you add up all those streaming services, how much I pay yearly, and I still can't find all the movies. I thought streaming services became popular so we didn't have to constantly rent movies anymore. So why am I going on Amazon Prime to rent a bunch of movies I want to watch? And they're each like $5, $3. It really depends how popular the movie is. So each of these movies I've either thrifted or gotten them at a used bookstore from around $1 to $4, and I'm gonna have them forever, and I never have to go looking for them again. I can just pop in the CD and call it a day.
Well, I don't know, I personally am here for it, because it gives them more like owner and control. Because also when you do have a streaming service, they take off things all the time to make room for other things you don't care about. So like, for one, I'm constantly using Tubi and Hulu on a regular basis. I flip between them too. If I'm in my mom's room, then I'll use like Paramount, you know? So they're constantly taking stuff off. And with Tubi, like that's like a good website to go to if you want to like watch like early 2000s, oh my god, my camera's dying, early 2000s shows or movies, but they don't keep them on there for very long, which is really unfortunate. What I was saying was that they're constantly taking out stuff all the time, and I'm personally getting tired of trying to search down like every movie that I grew up watching that I really enjoyed, because I personally have a huge gripe with whenever they like have like big companies have like ownership over like different streaming services, like they're buying it out. Like Paramount, I don't even know what it was before, but when Nickelodeon was bought by them, I was like, oh my god, this is frustrating as hell. Same with MTV, it was bought by them, I think, but it was irritating because I had to go on Paramount to watch the shows that I grew up watching, and it honestly just seems so much better to just buy it on DVD, even though it's like a little bit pricey. Like honestly, it's not that bad. I feel like if you like break it down, like it'll make sense financially, but it's really frustrating because I shouldn't have to like search all over the dark web just to watch a show, just to watch some SpongeBob. Personally, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. And same with HBO Max. HBO used to have all the Cartoon Network shows for years, 4 years. That's really the only reason why I really liked HBO, because I used to watch like all of the Cartoon Network shows along with 90 Day Fiance and Boondocks, right? But then Warner Brothers took it off of HBO, so they only left it with a few Cartoon Network shows, which is like Uncle Grandpa, Adventure Time, I think Chowder, all that stuff. So I couldn't find Billy and Mandy anywhere else. I only watched it through HBO because all of the shows were on there, all the seasons, and there's like 6 seasons. So I was like, oh my god, where am I gonna watch it now? I was trying to look for different ways to watch it. I was trying to look it up on YouTube, trying to look it up on eBay, anywhere I can get my hands on. And the prices that they were asking for were astronomical. They were like, oh, for this DVD set, $845. Some of y'all are really stingy when it comes to like DVDs, because I know when people are trying to look for it and when it's like viral or whatever, because like the prices are crazy, you know what I mean? And I just kind of hate that for me personally, because I'm not paying $845 for a cartoon, even though I love it a lot. Like I think I love Billy and Mandy more than a lot of the shows from Cartoon Network. Like it kind of like like it's like literally at the top of my list. Like people don't understand how much I truly love that show, and it's hard to find it. It's hard to find it, and I don't know why. Like they took it off of so many streaming platforms. Like the only option you have online is to buy it from somewhere. So I'm like, that's kind of outrageous, don't you think? Bought things from Apple TV since probably 2013, and like that's what I used to watch like all of my shows on that I couldn't find anywhere. Like that was when I didn't have like cable, and that's how I used to watch some of my shows, like through Hulu, Netflix, and streaming stuff, you know? I think it's worth buying it on DVD versus anything else, because you can watch it over and over and over and over again, and you don't have to worry about it being taken out, and you don't have to worry about it being like, I don't know, like there's just so many pros to it. I just can't think of it right now because I kind of have a headache. But the only con to DVDs is that I feel is that if you watch it too much, you can get scratches on them. So yeah. And on top of that, when it comes to like social media, especially when it comes to Instagram, a lot of people have been talking about their disdain about Instagram for years. For years. It used to be like this fun, whimsical app that I got when I was like 11, 12 years old. I thought it was so cool to have an Instagram when I was 12 years old, but over the years, it's gotten really insufferable. For one, I think what a lot of people's biggest gripe is that you don't see your mutuals, you see a bunch of random posts that your mutuals has interacted with. Okay, cool. You don't follow those people. Why am I seeing this? You know what I mean? So for years and years, people have been talking about my feed is not in chronological order. I can't see my friends' post. Seeing everyone else's post, but I can't see my friends, which I understand the frustration because I find it annoying that the only time you're really pushed out into the algorithm is if you post like all the time. And it's not like people I grew up with are freaking influencers. I feel like there's probably like maybe one or two of them that want to be influencers that I grew up with, and they post all the time, and I'm just like, I don't see them all the time. For some reason, people made it seem like it's like this very strict app where you can only post on it if you're like, you have something good going on in your life.
When y'all gonna realize Instagram is dead because they're trying to be more like TikTok? Because honestly, no, they're not pushing pictures anymore. Like, you can say that there's a bunch of views, but I just have a feeling that some of the numbers are fabricated. I think Instagram itself is no longer pushing pictures because they know that the world is moving into a space where everybody is, you know, being more authentic and the video world because of TikTok. By 2030, if Instagram is not a ghost town and like, you know, nobody's on the app, it will be just like TikTok, just videos. Nobody's really going to be focused on pictures anymore because one, they're not pushing pictures anymore. And two, we're honestly just evolving as people. Like, be real. No one cares as much about fake pictures that are photoshopped in the way you look if the way you act is weird. Let's see how you act. And that's why I love TikTok. But Instagram, kiss the Instagram pictures and that era goodbye.
Which, okay, it used to not even be like that. You can just, like, a lot of us grew up being like shit posters and just use it as a spam account. Like, I remember I used to post like One Direction quotes, One Direction things, like anything, you know what I mean? Anything in One Direction. I would post pictures of the ocean, I would post pictures of my guinea pigs, I would post pictures of myself. Anything that I felt was good in the moment, I posted it because I didn't care. Like, I hate that it's become this thing where you have to like constantly like rethink, like, do I want to post this? You know what I mean? Like, the last time I posted on my Instagram was in August of last year, and what was happening in August of last year? My birthday, and I was going to my first concert. So I was like, oh my god, let me post this because I thought it was exciting. I liked the fact that I was going to my first concert. It was fun. It was whimsical. It was like my best, I will say, my best first experience. Like, honestly, like, I wouldn't want it any other way. Other than the fact that I wish that there were more openers, but people don't come out here. So I understand, but I do feel like more people should come out here because, I mean, Janae Aiko was out here and she wasn't even singing. She was just getting her lashes done. And Kodak Black was just freaking out here like last month. People come out here. I just don't really see it, you know? But anyways, yeah, so I hate that, honestly, because most of us have grown up in the spam account era in high school, and I just hate that it's just become so strict. But I feel like y'all are the ones that made it strict. It used to be fun, but y'all made it like this very insufferable, annoying app where you have to like constantly compete with your mutuals. You don't even like your mutuals, so why are we competing with them? So for what? Because the majority of the people that do complain about it, I highly doubt that they're even like content creators themselves. I just feel like it's constantly a freaking contest all the time. If you really don't like it, if you really hate Instagram that much, like, delete it. because I do kind of find it annoying when people constantly freaking complain about it but don't delete it, you know. And also I hate when all these updates happen and they still didn't fix the chronological order thing. And like the AI stuff is like implemented in every app now because everyone's trying to like cheap out and stuff. So they're just like, let me just put AI in everything. So they have like, they basically like force you to talk to AI all the time. It's in Snapchat too. Snapchat used to be filled with like cringy and cute what's it called, filters, but now it's filled with AI filters. Like, I hate that people don't think that social media is dying. I feel like social media died when AI kind of got a hold of it, because I don't really understand why people are super obsessed with AI. Like, I don't see the appeal of AI personally, and you're constantly fighting with the algorithm, and it just feels like AI is always winning. My camera's dying. This is what I'm freaking talking about. I'm gonna end the video here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Check out my podcast if you haven't already. See you guys next week, okay? Bye guys.